Your balcony looks like a graveyard. Yellow leaves, cracked soil, dead roots. You spent $40 on that tomato plant. You feel like a failure. Stop. It isn't your hands, it's 7 invisible traps built into how we buy pots, soil, and seeds. We start with the dirt that suffocates your roots. Then the pots that choke them before summer even heats up. You will learn to read soil moisture by touch, not by a calendar. We will map your sunlight to actual fruit set. I will show you why your black plastic pot is cooking your plants alive. And the 7th mistake, it breaks every rule you have ever learned. If this sounds like the setup you need, subscribe. A new container fix drops here every week.
You bought the cheap topsoil. It smelled rich. You filled your pots. 2 weeks later, the leaves curled and water just sat there. You didn't kill your plants. You brought outdoor dirt into a sealed container. In the ground, earthworms tunnel and rain moves through. In a pot, that soil turns to brick. Roots suffocate. The fix is a 3-part blend. 2 parts screened compost, 1 part coco coir, 1 part coarse perlite. Mix it in a wheelbarrow until the color is uniform. This texture traps air. It releases water slowly. It feeds your plants instead of burning them. Your fertilizer bill drops because the compost does the slow work. If you want 7 complete soil recipes for tomatoes, peppers, and herbs, we have a full video on that. One caution, never tamp the mix flat. Press lightly around the stem. Compacting good soil defeats the whole purpose. Getting the soil right is your foundation, but even perfect soil can't save a plant that's drowning in its own container. You grab a 6-inch pot for a tiny Tim cherry tomato. It fits perfectly on your windowsill. The stem grows tall, you stake it, the leaves look green, then the flowers drop. Fruit stays hard and tiny. The problem isn't light, it's that the roots hit the plastic walls and start circling. The plant shifts into survival mode, focusing on staying alive instead of making fruit. You fix this by matching volume to the plant. A tiny Tim tomato needs a 5-gallon bucket for its roots to anchor heavy branches. A Carmen pepper thrives in a 3-gallon pot because its shallow tap roots don't need deep soil. A 12-inch wide container is perfect for salad bowl lettuce or provider bush beans. Measure your pot before you plant. The real secret is thermal mass. Larger soil volumes buffer temperature swings and hold water longer. You'll water less often, and the leaves stay turgid through the noon heat. This is where you get that extra yield you weren't expecting. But here's a warning. An oversized pot will drown a small seedling. Start your young plants in small cells, then move them up gradually. Let them drink from the bottom to force roots downward. Once the canopy matches the pot size, you're safe to transplant. This principle of matching the container to the plant's final size applies to everything. But if you're watering right-sized pots by a fixed schedule, you're fighting the plant instead of listening to it. You water every morning at 7, the leaves droop, you add more water. The plant looks worse. You're drowning it out of kindness. Containers sit in still air. Evaporation slows. Without the knuckle test, you create a swamp at the bottom while the surface looks cracked. Roots rot in standing water. Anaerobic bacteria take over. They release foul gases. The plant cannot pull moisture from mud. It starves while sitting in liquid. Change the rule today. Ignore the calendar, press your index finger into the mix. Wait until the top inch feels completely dry, then water until clear liquid runs freely from the bottom. Lift the pot, feel the weight difference. A hydrated container feels dense. A ready one feels light. This tactile feedback trains your eye. You will water 3 times a week in June, once a week in September. Humidity changes the schedule, wind changes it, shade changes it. The plant tells you just need to listen. Here's the trap, morning watering seems safe. If you do it while leaves stay wet, you invite powdery mildew. Water the soil, not the canopy. Aim low. Let the base dry before dusk. You will see firmer stems within days. Flowers will set instead of dropping.
Which of those first 3 traps caught you? The wrong soil, the cramped pot, or watering by the calendar?
All 3 work the same way. They look fine on the surface, then they quietly take your harvest. Now you know the difference. That's where most container gardens turn around. If you want the rest of the fixes, subscribe. A new container setup drops here every week. 4 more mistakes to go. The next one is about light, and your container's mobility is the secret weapon most people ignore completely. Not just the amount of light, the type, and the placement. Let's get into it. Your plants look healthy, but the tomatoes never ripen. The leaves are pale and stretched. You thought the sunny window was enough. Light intensity drops sharply behind glass. Direct, unfiltered sun hours are what fruiting plants need. Not just brightness, a sun-gold cherry tomato in a 5-gallon bucket demands 6 full hours of direct light. Less than that, it will grow leaves. not fruit. It needs that long, unfiltered streak. The container's mobility is your secret weapon here. You can follow the sun, slide the bucket to the south-facing wall when morning shade lingers too long. But watch the afternoon heat. On a scorching day, roll it under a tree canopy or an awning for a couple of hours to protect young stems from sun scald. Track the shadow on your balcony for a week. Place a pencil in the soil and note where the shadow ends at 2 p.m. That is your true light line. Move your heavy pots before you water them. Wet soil adds pounds you do not want to lift. A simple furniture dolly from the hardware store changes everything. Now, what's the sunniest spot you have? A south-facing wall, a corner that catches afternoon light? Tell me in the comments. That sun gold will thrive in the longest streak of light. Keep your leafy greens like salad bowl lettuce in the cooler edges where they get 3 to 4 hours. But here's the warning. A sudden jump from deep shade to full, blazing sun will scorch leaves. Harden off any plant by gradually increasing its sun exposure over a week. That lettuce tolerates less light, but it bolts quickly in high heat. Its role is fast, cool season harvests. But once placement is right, one silent problem can still kill your containers in the middle of summer, and it lives at the bottom of the pot. You find a beautiful ceramic pot at a flea market. No holes in the base. You love the glaze. So you line the bottom with stones and plant right on top. It feels like a smart shortcut. But physics works against you. Those rocks create a perched water table, water pools right above the gravel layer. Your soil turns to sludge. Roots drown in the trapped moisture. Drainage is non-negatival. Every container needs multiple exit points. If you have a decorative vessel you love, drill 5 1/4-inch holes in the base. Use a masonry bit. Place a shallow saucer underneath. Empty that saucer within 20 minutes of watering. Never let it sit overnight. The soil must breathe between waterings. Here's a quick test for your current setup. Water thoroughly at noon. Wait exactly 30 minutes. Then lift the pot by the rim. It should feel noticeably lighter. If it feels heavy, water is still trapped. Drill more holes or switch your approach. Fabric pots are a great alternative. They wick excess moisture through the sides and air prune circling roots naturally. You get a denser root mass without the hassle. Keep your saucer clean too. Mineral buildup blocks airflow. Wipe it down with a vinegar cloth once a month. Solid drainage sets the stage for everything else. But even with perfect water flow, a black container in full sun can cook your roots alive by Julie. That is the mistake we fix next. You water every day, you feed on schedule. You put it in full sun. Yet by noon, the leaves droop and the stems go soft. You blame the plant, you blame the heat. But the real killer is the pot itself. A black plastic container soaks up every ray of sun. It transfers that heat straight into the soil. On a hot July day, the root zone can hit 45 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, roots can't take up water or nutrients. The plant is starving in a hot bath. The fix is simple. Swap to a light colored pot. Silver, white, or tan reflects the worst of the heat. If you can't swap, slide your dark pot inside a larger one. Leave an inch of air between them. That gap acts like insulation. Spread 2 inches of straw or bark mulch over the soil surface. It shades the root crown from direct sun. Lift the pot off hot concrete with wooden blocks. Air needs to circulate underneath. I learned this the hard way with a sun gold cherry tomato in a black pot on my apartment balcony. By mid-July, it was wilting every afternoon. I wrapped the pot in burlap and raised it on 2 scrap pieces of wood. Within a week, the plant perked up by 3 in the afternoon. Even terracotta, which looks cool, holds heat like a brick. Paint the outside with a lime wash or use a light-colored fabric wrap. The soil temperature stays steady and the roots stay cool. But even perfect temperature fails when the genetics demand it. Some varieties just aren't built for limited soil volume.
You did everything right. The soil is perfect. You water on schedule, but your tomato plant looks tired. It drops flowers. The fruit stays small and hard. The problem is not your hands. It is the seed packet. You planted a full-size big boy in a 5-gallon bucket. Its genetics demand 3 feet of soil depth. In a pot, it hits a plastic ceiling. It redirects all its energy into survival. It produces small, stressed fruit. You cannot force a giant into a small room. The fix is simple. Read the back of the packet before you buy. Look for the words container, dwarf, patio, or bush. These traits mean compact roots. Swap that big boy for a tiny Tim or a tumbling Tom. Replace a standard Roma with the true patio hybrid.
These varieties are bred for limited soil. They mature faster. They set fruit at lower leaf nodes. They give you a heavier harvest from a smaller footprint. One warning. The word container on a label is not enough. Always check the mature height and spread. If it lists 3 feet of width, it needs a 10-gallon drum or a raised bed. Match the plant to the pot. This single change turns frustration into a consistent weekly harvest. Every rule about container gardening shifts the moment the genetics fit the space. You now hold every piece of the system.
Those 7 fixes aren't random tips. They're the system that shifts your balcony from decoration to production. Fix them in order. Watch what happens. Next week, 7 fast-growing vegetables you can harvest in under 45 days, right in your containers. Which of these 7 fixes lands on your workbench today?